self-compassion. And the reason for self-compassion topic is I would like to make it a comment here. When you Google the term compassion, when you Google it, there are definitions here. You will get n number of definitions. And all the definitions you can see the welfare of others and for others, these are terms you can get it. But in Indian perspective, when you take it that yoga and meditation, that Vedic component, it's saying that self-compassion, it is a thing I can say it is given by India to other countries. That is the thing. We can take any definition. The term self, we cannot find it. Self-love, self-compassion, it is not there in the practice of Western component. It is an Eastern perspective, and we can say we are proud to say that we are the one who given the self-compassion concept to other countries. So with that note, I can begin my presentation. Just a minute, and I will give some of the activities in between. I hope your cooperation in this regard, and you can stop me at any time. And if you are not able to understand what I'm saying. Yes. So can you able to see everyone? Professors, can you able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are seeing it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, I would like to tell you, I think this topic is on for layman perspective. I think many of you may aware about it. Kindly excuse me. I'm going to take it to the person who never aware about the term and what is the benefit out of it. And as I said, the concept of self-compassion is given by Indians to other countries. That's one thing. And second one is, when you look at that in positive, in psychology, there are different fields, the clinical and other components. There is one field called positive psychology. This positive psychology emphasizes on positive emotions and positive practices. And self-compassion is one of the positive practices which were we practiced long back. And recent days, I can say 20 years back, the importance of self-compassion were highlighted or insisted by the positive psychologist. And we'll see one by one the term, each term we will find out the meaning. And we will move on to that, what are the benefit out of we are practicing self-compassion and how we can practice self-compassion in our day-to-day life. And there are two practices you are undergoing right now. One is on yoga and another one is meditation. How these two play an important role in self-compassion practices. We'll move on to the term self. When you take that a standard definition for the term, what do you mean by self? Okay, it is nothing but a term saying that I, the term I, me. So these two terms is we can say that the self. Okay, and we'll move on to the next term. And in psychology, we define the term self means. Self means it is on cognitive, phonetic. Phonetic means that behavioral and affective. So these, for example, I'm having idea about myself. Okay, who is Mr. Suresh? And I'm having that. What are the behavior he will exhibit? What kind of emotions he will express? So these things will identity of the person. I will give in South India. You all may aware about it. Rajinikanth. Okay, when Rajinikanth comes in, there are his behavior will come in front of us, and some thought will be there in your mind. That is called self. That's called the idea is called self. When you have some cognitive, image, and phonetic, the behavior exhibited by the person, by yourself, and the emotions you are experiencing and expressing to others. So these two subjective experiences we call as on psychology of self. And yes, sir. Okay, and move on that and the next one. As I said in the beginning itself, when we see the term compassion, when you take that most of the Western definition, Western quotes, we can find out it is about the term self is given by Indians, and when you take sympathy or pity, okay, when someone is suffering, you will sympathize, okay, and when we see that some misfortunes are there, that the difficulties are problem faced by someone, when we look at that, and then we are more sympathetic and pity about that person, others, but the self also involved in that comparison, which comes from an Indian perspective. And we'll move on to that next one. And now we are aware about it, what is self and what is psychological perspective of self. And we know the comparison. We'll move to the next one, self-compassion. And when you look at that, dissect and most of the definitions we can find out, there are two important components are there in self-compassion. One is on self-acceptance. Many people will say that, no, I may be good if I do those things, but I have not done that. No. What you've done, it may be good or bad, what you've done, you have to accept yourself. That first important component of self-compassion is self-acceptance. And the next one is working for the self-improvement. For example, sometimes your instinct will say that the accents or the thought process is not appropriate, something you feel uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable will give on guidelines to you to improve yourself for your comfort zone, how to move to comfort zone. So these are the two components that is called self-compassion. And another one is many people, we self-criticize ourselves. Many occasions I can say that if we are not doing our work at a particular time, or someone is better than us, we criticize us. I don't know, I'm not worth for that. I'm not fit for that. I'm good for nothing. This kind of self-criticism is there for the mistakes what we are making. But self-compassion people will not do that. They will not do that. They will appreciate. They will accept as it is, and they try to improve themselves. So I hope I given that clarity about that topic. And now I move on to that very important component of self-compassion is dimensions. Dimension means we can say composition of something. For example, you can able to see in my hand, you can see my smartphone. So what are the components are in the smartphone? You can see a display, a button, and camera, front camera, back camera, and then finger sensor. And these are and inside you can see battery. These are the composition of smartphone. Likewise, when we dissect that term self-compassion, there are many components are there. So which was identified by Kristen, he is a pioneer in self-compassion research in Western perspective. And he found out that there are three important dimensions or components are there. What are they? One is on self-kindness, kindness towards, and common humanity. And third one is mindfulness. I think you are practicing these three components in that the main objectives of your faculty development program in the yoga and the meditation practices, and you are doing that. And the same thing they expressed, and they said that these are the composition of self-compassion. We'll move on to the next one. What do you mean by self-kindness? And here I need your inputs regarding that. There are many occasions we do self-negative talk. Okay, negative self-talk we may express. Can you please name some of the negative self-talk in the chat box? In the comment section, in the chat box, you can just mention one or two. What are the negative comments you will make about yourself? Maybe anything. Yes. Yeah. Can you please just enter that? What are the negative talk we will make it? So I will start from my side. I am good for nothing. So these are the one. Anger, yes. It will be anger. Self-pity, yes. What are the self-talk we frequently, sometimes we may done to ourselves? Yeah, I'm expecting there are many, more than 40 participants I hear, learned professors. I can't do these things, yes. Yes, lovely input, sir. What are the negative? This is a common thing. I'm not good looking. I'm not good in that work. Yes, not giving credit to that the good work we have done in the recently. Yes, lovely. What are the negative self-talk we will make in our day-to-day life, or recently if you made anything, you can just make a comment. And I can give one assurance. If someone says that I never do negative self-talk, I think it is subjective. Very rare it will happen. Most of us, including me, and we all made our negative self-talk, and once in and different occasions, yes, I make the things wrong. Very, very true, sir. Very true. And I think thank you for your inputs, and move on to my, yes, always wanting the approval of others. Definitely. We are seeking approval of others. We are working for, I think, seeking appreciation and other things from other members. And what the first component in self-compassion is self-kindness. Kindness towards ourselves. Kindness towards ourselves. And what are the way we can make it a self-kindness? One is on replacing our negative self-talk into positive self-talk. Okay. And when we talk about ourselves, when we say about ourselves, and we have to, we may hear our inner voice. We may hear our inner voice when you close your eyes and you just ask about what do you think about yourself. You ask yourself, and your mind will say that, your inner voice will say that, the gentle voice will say that, okay, you are good. No, you need to improve. You are not good at all. That inner voice we have to change. And recently, you all aware about it. There are two fields that are very booming. One is on cognitive therapy, and another one is NLP. And these two, they took these components only. In cognitive therapy, they are saying that cognitive restructuring. What they are saying that in day-to-day life, what are the words we are speaking? And instead of negative words, you can replace into positive words. Okay, that is the best example for that. And we can come to the NLP. NLP, what the linguistic, what we are using. The words we can see certain community cannot find out more negative words. In certain culture itself, that means they are focusing only on the positive side. And if there is no negative word, they will not focus on it. So that is the thing we can. When in self-kindness, whenever you say about no, I will do later. I can't do that. Instead of say that, I will take little more time to do that. So the cognitive restructuring is nothing but we have to change opinion about ourselves from negative to positive. That is self-kindness, one thing. And be kind to ourselves. When your body is saying that you need to take a rest, take rest. Listen to your inner, your body will say that. We have to listen and be kind to ourselves. There are many times when you see someone is suffering and we are very kind to them. And someone saying that, can you please give me 10 rupees? I want to take, I never had a food for last 2 days. And we are sympathetic and will give the money. But at the same time, most of the, I can say like professors, those who are attending here, when you are involving in the work, most of the time you never think about your health. You think about that work which is assigned to you, want to complete the work on time. We running towards that. Because of that, we are not giving importance to ourselves. And the first component of self-compassion is be kindness to yourself. The next one is common humanity. As we are aware about it, we human beings are different from animals. Even though we belong to the category of animals, we can say that social animals. When we look at any kind of disasters, even Chennai flood or Gujarat earthquake and any other disaster, we can find out other parts of the country and other parts of the world, they are come forward, they are lending their hand for helping the people. This is important quality, and this quality when you do others, we will do for ourselves. And this, it is a universal experience we can see. That is the second component of self-compassion. We move on to the third one. And here is a very important, that the thing what you are undergoing that program is mindfulness. Sir, I would like to hear from you all. Anyone, please unmute yourself. What do you mean by mindfulness? Can anyone please?
Being aware of what we are doing at present.
Being aware of what you are doing. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, focus on present.
Very good. Focus on present rather than giving importance to the past and future. Lovely inputs. Yes. Yes. Any other? Is it multitasking comes under mindfulness?
So multitasking deviates our focus.
Okay.
And it also preoccupies our mind. I mean, this is my observation.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And actually, we are aware about there are 5 sense organs are there within us. Okay, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and then skin. And when we look at these, when we do any activity, have you ever noticed that we are focusing on these 5 sense organs for the particular activity? If you do that, that is called mindfulness. That is called mindfulness. And when we take up, there is one more study saying that most of our learning, including for normal person, our learning 87% happened through our observation, eyes, 87%. and 11% through our ears, and remaining 2% from, I think you all agree with me, other sensory organs. In mindfulness, that's why to avoid distraction, like for meditation, if you take any practice, they will say that close your eyes. The first thing they will say, close your eyes and observe. For example, recently there is a popular mindfulness breathing exercises are very popular among the students. They found that mindfulness breathing gives more energy and more concentration. ADHD, attention deficit, very common among the students. And if they practice mindfulness breathing, just close their eyes and they have to watch the breathing. Just watch and cut down that other stimulus they are receiving from that environment. And here in self-compassion, that is for understanding mindfulness. Here in mindfulness, what I mean, I think we giving all sense organs to that understand to which one we have to focus. Okay, and here in self-compassion, we have to focus on, most of us, we are focusing on negative component. Instead of that, we have to focus on the positive emotions. Focusing on that, what we put for us and how we can replace that negative into positive. So that action we have to do that. This is a third component of self-compassion. I hope I given that components of self-compassion. And if I ask you, even if you ask me that whether you are practicing self-compassion, if you same question, if you ask me 3 years before, I will say that no. Why we are not practicing these kind of good things? There are two reasons. One is we are not aware about the benefit out of practicing that particular thing. When we know that when you ask them why you have to do that, what is the benefit out of it? Almost all the human beings here, if I do, what is the benefit? And when we are aware about it, when you self-compassion, what are the benefit we will get it? Definitely, we will look into that. And I can say that one of the important awareness program initiated by the government of India, one is on that Mukesh. When you go to any movie, there is an case documentary will be there. He will say that I use the tobacco product. Now I'm cancer, and he's no more that ad. You can see in most of the before screening that movie, you can see that ad, and that awareness matter. There are many people quit that use of the tobacco, and here when we aware about that benefit out of self-compassion, and many people they will come forward and then they will practice it. And if the person who is not doing self-compassion practice in their day-to-day life, it is because they are not aware about that benefit out of it. Now we'll move on to that. What are the benefits? And usually, when you look at that, most of the presentation, you can see benefit will be at the end, the last one. But I made it the beginning itself after understanding, and I given that what are the benefits. When we know that, and we will find out what are the way we can practice it. Okay, first one. And I think it will motivate our self-compassion, increases our motivation. Then we all know that motivation is an important component, intrinsic as well as external. And this self-compassion will say that it motivates you with any kind of activities if you take enough, even it is for intrinsic as well as extrinsic. That is the first benefit out of it. And next one is regarding every one of us, human, including me and all the people are surrounding here, are attending here. We are longing for happiness. And you can see there are statistics saying that many people are dependent on drugs and alcohol. Why they are depending on, addicted to that? Because they are looking for short-term happiness. That means all human beings are running toward finding that happiness. And some people, they believe that they can get the happiness by earning money. Some people, they believe that they're getting happiness through experiences. But studies were proven that earning money will give that momentum happiness. But when you, with that money, when you experience, when you visit some places with your family members, and if you are not having that practice, you can do at least once in a month. You can go along with your family members in somewhere nearby places. If you feel that I don't want to spend much money, go to the nearby place as a family member and give the experience to them. And self-compassion, it is one of the practice that it will boost our happiness. When you love yourself, the studies were proven that the happiness of an individual increases. When you are happy, it is contagious. When you see someone is yawning, and we also do the same thing. Okay, it is contagious. Likewise, when you see someone is happy in your family members, and you can look at that family members in the community. And some of the family members are always happy, because if one person is happy, that it isn't contagious, all the members will be happy. But when you look at it in a family, you can see there is no happiness in the family. That means no one is happy because they are not practicing it. So that is the second benefit of practicing. And third one is about we are having that poor body image and self-image. And self-compassionate people, they never complain or criticize about that body structure, that complex, and what they are possessing, what they are having. They never blame. No, if I will be 1 feet height, I will be good. If I'm a fair, I will be good. That you cannot find these things in a self-compassionate person. They accept it. Okay, this structure, these complexes I received from the God. It's given to me. I'm the unique person. They love it. And their body image will improve. That increases, that studies were proven. And next one is the self-worth. They self-compassionate people. I love myself, and they will have the more confidence, and self-worth will be very high among the people, those who are practicing self-compassionate. And when you try to increase that self-worth of an individual, self-confidence of individual, we have to ask them to practice self-compassion. And I think now we are in a period of pandemic crisis, COVID-19, this novel coronavirus. And I can see that resilient people are more, self-compassionate people are more resilient. That means we can be able to cope up that problem, maybe economic problem or social problem or any kind of problem. These people, self-compassionate people, are more resilient. Resilience is nothing but bouncing back to the normal. We are saying that new normal. And you can see if you are more resilient, and that means you are a more self-compassionate person. You love yourself as well as your family members and other members. That's why you are more resilient. If you don't do that, you will not be resilient. You will be fed up, and then you will not come back from that normal, setback to the normal. And a few more studies also found that when you have that self-compassionate, some people have anxiety. Anxiety is a common problem you can see in most of the youngsters. And self-compassionate people, we can find out decreased anxiety among that people. And I think India, the quote given by WHO, World Health Organization, I would like to say here, I think we are very leading in this component. They said that the most depressed country in the world is India. They given in that, you can go to the website itself, they given the statement is that the most depressed country. And especially these COVID-19 crises, and almost that socioeconomic status, major chunk of Indian population comes under middle class and lower middle class and socially poor. And these populations are having more depression due to many components, many factors. And here there are studies that proven that we want to come out from the depression. I think the many suicide and other self-harming practices are happening. It is because a person who is taking alcohol or a drug, it is because they are depressed. They want to come out from that, but it is a negative strategy, I can say. But there is instead of that, there is a positive strategy we can adopt that is called self-compassion. When we practice self-compassion, we can easily get rid of depression, and then we can change that practice. They given that statistics by WHO. No, India is not the most depressed country in the world. We are not loving ourselves. That is the only reason I can say. And it also reduces stress. And everyone, even the kids, 1 or 2 years, they are stressed. And this kind of work we are hearing from, irrespective of age group, they are saying that stress. Self-compassionate people, they know that how to manage stress. They will not give focus on that. And overall, and now there is a switch over from in that many perspective, in health perspective, we can see they are not giving importance to that illness, disorder, and deficiency. Now there is a switch over to that wellness and well-being and happiness. And this self-compassion is focused on those components: well-being, wellness, and then happiness. And you can take any given time. Now, if you take in this time, in this moment, you can take the percentage of people who are affected with illness and disorder deficiency will come around 20%. And remaining 80% are normal people. And we need to provide a strategy that will help them to improve their well-being and wellness and happiness. And that one of the practices is self-compassion. And this self-compassion is giving importance to our health, our body, our mind, and our emotions. And these things we can achieve through the practice of yoga and meditation. And it also increases our self-confidence. And wherever we go, when you love yourself, and you will say that, yes, I can do that. Yes. So that we can see. And another one is we are having that some people, they may make a comment about their quality of life. They will say that, no, my life is not good. I'm not satisfied. My life is not up to that. But self-compassionate people striving towards and improving the quality of life. So now we know that, so these are the common perspectives of findings, the benefit out of getting when you practice self-compassion. Now, as I said, there are many problems, and when I ask you, can you please list out the problem, you can say what are the things I said, you can say the same thing. And when you want to get rid of it, mostly what we will do, we will try to find out that negative strategy, because the people who are near to you, we will approach them, the friend and the other members, they may not aware about, they will say what are the strategies they took, and it may be a negative coping strategy, we will adapt it. But now I hope hereafter you are aware about it, what are the benefit out of it, and what are the thing we have to do that. And next one is, now I'm going to give that there are many research studies. I think we will not agree with that. Someone saying that self-compassion will decrease anxiety, it improves happiness. Someone saying the layman perspective will never agree. But I'm going to give the research findings. There are many research work done, and they come up with that findings, and we can see that. And the last one, as I said, self-compassion is a strongly predictive factor of well-being. And who have practiced it, I think this is a posture you can see, I think recently every day morning you are practicing it. Okay. The people who are practicing self-compassion, their self-compassion practice, they are less depressed and less anxious. Less depressed and less anxious. As I said, WHO given that statement and they given that labeled as most depressed country. When we do these practices, we can come out from that one. The next one is, and especially that farmers, agriculture workers, and the students, and we can find out, and the film industry also, there are many suicidal thoughts are there, ideas are there. Suicidal ideas very common among those people. But when they practice this self-compassion, they are come out from that guilty feeling and shame feeling, and we can come and minimize the number of cases, those who are seeking for suicide. And I can say the second leading death in India, when you just Google it, what is the second leading death? It is on suicide. In India, if we take the number of death, and what is the second leading cause for death is on suicide. And it is because of depression and hopelessness in their life. These things we can replace with that self-compassion. The next one is, it increases the positive emotions and optimism and hope and future. I would like to quote here, I think there is a Barbara Fredrickson. She is the one, she said that, for example, in the morning, if you start with that yoga or meditation practices, when you have a positive emotions or positive thought in your mind, that is an upward spiral. Broaden build theory. Broadening means when the small experiences will be broadened into bigger one. And when the first hand experience is on positive experiences or positive emotion, and the whole day will be positive. That will be broadened. That will be built. At the same time, upward spiral is on positive, and downward spiral also possible. When you see that in the beginning, you may also experience, even I do experience many of the time, in the morning, if I had a negative thought, negative experiences, and the whole day will be disastrous. I feel nothing will good for that. And that's why she said that we have to begin our day positively. The positive practices, positive emotions. And one of the practices was that meditation and yoga. And when you do practice in the early morning itself, and the whole day will be, you feel more comfortable. And these were the research finding. And second research finding is that self-esteem and self-compassion. And many of us, we are having that, comparing that self-esteem and self-compassion. Self-esteem is totally different. Totally different. And here we have to understand that the self-esteem is we are seeking a recognition. Okay, I am the person. It fluctuates also. Okay, it fluctuates, but self-compassion is not that. And some of them we are confusing with self-esteem with self-compassion. Self-esteem, you are getting the recognition. Yes, I am. The ego, I can say that. But ego wellness is on self-compassion. Self-esteem is based on our achievement, but self-compassion is not about it, and it care about ourselves. What we have done, it will appreciate what we have done. And third finding is that resilience and coping, including what we can do, the hard time we will face in our, for example, in a relationship. It may be with our husband and wife, or it may be parents and children, it may be between that co-workers or student and teachers. And these hard times we will face are like any kind of disaster we may face, trauma we face in our life. And these people, self-compassionate people, they are, it is because they found that self-compassionate people, they can overcome this kind of problem very quickly. They can face, they have that resilient skills to overcome those experiences. And they are quickly found back to the normal. Very quickly they will come back to the normal, even the setbacks are there. And it gives that they will, during that hardship time or very conflict or problematic time, they find out their weakness and they will nurture and they will develop the skills to overcome that weaknesses. These were resilient and coping skills will be improved a person who practicing self-compassion. And healthier behavior, I think we all know that the adolescents and youth and some of the behavior we can say deviant behavior. And healthier behavior means the society agree with that, okay, these behaviors are appropriate. We need to, and you can see that those are practicing meditation and yoga, they are more calm and peaceful in the mind. And they will not easily get angry and aggressive in a community or in a society in a public places. Because they express that, they know that what is appropriate behavior we have to express. And they will not hold a grudge and vengeance against others. When we hold it, it is an harm. It will give harm to us, not to others. And it alleviates that what are the sufferings or problem we are facing in our life. And we will care about the choice in front of us. Healthy behavior in front of us, there are good and bad behaviors are there. Good words and bad words are there. And when you select that positive one, that is a healthy behavior. And they found that self-compassionate people, if you love ourselves, we love others also. That is the thing. When you love ourselves, we will love others also. And we will be more compassionate. When we practice in self-compassionate, we love others without any discrimination. And more interpersonal relationship will be common among the people who are practicing self-compassion. And they are less selfish in nature. And if we are less selfish in nature, our relationship automatically will be boosted and we will have a better relationship. And instead of we are getting from others, we try to give to others. And we never control the partner. It means the partner between one and others. We will never control. We will not take over advantage of others. And so these were the research findings. The previous 6 points were I taken from the research findings of different researchers, and I quoted, and the reference I given at the end. And now you all agree with that. What are the benefit out of merely practicing the simple word we may not aware about earlier, and now when we do that practices, and we will have many benefit out of it. And now we'll move on to that. And in front of us, including me, I was attended few more training program and sessions. They will say that what are the different types are there, and what are the benefit out of it. And when it comes to the point of how to develop those components, they will not give that. And generally, we can find out, they will talk about everything. And when these component comes, they will stop and then they will go. Now I'm going to tell you what are the strategies, what are the mechanisms we can adapt, we can practice in your life for improving your self-compassion. One is here, these are the strategies I'm going to tell. I think, for example, someone in your friend circle or family members having the problem. And if you know that they are crying or they are suffering, what we will do? We will go and console them. Don't worry, the problem will not be long lasting. One day you will have the skill to overcome the problem. We will give very kind to that people who are suffering. But when you look at that, whether we are doing it for ourselves when we are suffering, are you saying to yourself, don't worry, this is a short period of time, rejection will be there. the problem you are facing is only for short period of time, you will overcome it. Have you ever told we are talking to this kind of word to us? When someone in our family member or friend having the problem, we will go to them and say them, don't worry. We will console them. We are very kind to them. Whether we are kind to ourselves, and these unconsciously we have to change ourselves. When we suffer, we have to talk ourselves. If you are not taking care of yourself, and who else will do that? And that is the first practice we have to change. And many of us, we never given focus on to that. I can say when the animals are in the street were suffering, and then we will be more sympathetic and more kind to that. And when we are suffering, emotionally or cognitively or mentally or physically, when we are suffering, will be saying the words to us? When you ask yourself, when you introspect yourself, including me, I can say that most of the time I fail to do that. And this is one of the first practice or first strategy we can adapt. We have to adapt. We can do that. Okay, don't worry, don't suffer. I'm here. We will come out from that. What we say to others, the same thing you have to say to ourselves. What are the advice we can give? And the common notion is that when someone is having problem, and we will give n number of advices, it will come, okay, do this and do these things. At the same time, when there is a problem, when we are facing, nothing will come in our mind. Nothing will come. We will focus on, it is because we are not focusing on that solution, we are focusing on the problem. That is the only reason. If someone is facing the problem and we are not focusing on the problem, we are focusing on the solution, that's why we are giving more solution to that. And here we have to see that the focus, we have to change from that problem to solution. And the kindness we are showing to others, here what we have to do, that first strategy, whenever we suffer, maybe physical or emotional or cognitive, which you just say to yourself, don't worry, I'm here, I will be with you, I will overcome the problem. Okay, that's the first strategy. And second one is aware about the self-talk. In the beginning you given that, most of the time it will, when you take up action, you will say to yourself, you can listen your inner voice. So what kind of word we are making? Or else, in a day, we are communicating or we are speaking to many people, and you can count that words. Or you can ask someone in your family members or well-wishers or your friend circle, can you tell me that what are the words I'm frequently using? You can ask them whether I'm using positive talk or negative talk. And if it is on positive talk, what are the things I can do that? If I'm negative talk, and you can ask them what are the word I can do that. And you can ask yourself how I can replace with that negative talk to positive talk instead of criticizing, and how we can say that. And mostly we can say, one of the example I would like to give here, I think, when children are doing mistakes, just imagine in your home as a parent, when you see someone in your family do a mistake, what we will do generally, you introspect yourself, you need not reveal. The elders, they will first hand, they will abuse them verbally. You idiot. I'm saying these are the words they come from them. And they will never say that, most of the time, why they are doing it. They believe that when we verbally abuse or give the punishment, they will overcome the problem. But unfortunately, we are wounding that persons. We are wounding that problem. That, see, the physical thing will be recovered very soon, but emotional and cognitive component, the mental component, long lasting, it takes much more time for healing that wound. Healing inner child, that suffering in our wound. That's why when you see that when there is a co-workers are not talking because they received a wound from them. And they take a lot of time to heal the wounding, emotional wounding. Here, in that you just ask them, if someone is saying that, instead of that, you, for example, same example we'll take. In the same children, we have to replace with that, okay, what you have, first time you can give the warning. Okay, you can say that what you have done is wrong. And we have to, most of the time we assume that they know that what is the right thing. But we will not say that. You say them what you expect from them. For example, in a relationship also, husband and wife, or any relationship, friends, and someone is that if they do something wrong, we'll just spill out. The words, negative things you will spill out. And instead of that, you can say them, what you've done is wrong. It is more irritating. I'm getting more anger. What I'm expecting, these are my expectations. Have you ever told that? If you ask yourself, you have done, most of us, including me, we never done that. What comes? Immediately you will just open up. And here the practice is, you just think about it and you just try to replace it. Immediately it is not possible. Immediately it is not possible. Take a time and when you practice the replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at one point of time, as I said, that's why when you look at the people who are practicing yoga and meditation, they are so charming. When you look at the face itself, they are more charming. And I can see there are many people, and some people, now, when you look at the face itself, they are something where in a hell, they come from the hell. And the face is more irritating, and they will never show that. I can give one of the examples. Recently, I visited one of the nationalized bank. The receptionist, I am in a hurry. I was in the queue. I told them, ma'am, I am having the meeting. Can you please address? And her face is totally, and that I said, contagious. She made me that whole day is disastrous. And the same thing we are doing to ourselves. Think about it. At the same time, someone is, when you go to the private bank, they are more cordial, and we are looking that. The same thing we have to do for ourselves also. When you found negative self-talk, just replace it. And when you Google it, and if possible, I will share that's what are the common self-talk we made in our daily life. I will give that. And what are the words we can do that? For example, I can't. For example, I can't. You are a worst person. How we can replace it? I can, but it needs a little more time. You are the worst person. I am working towards, or I'm working myself for a better person. So these are the words. We have to replace it. That is the second strategy. And third one is, this is a very interesting thing. I think if it is possible, how much time we are having? Just a minute. I think we are having 3 more minutes. If possible, at the end, I will play a video. There is a professor called Amit Kude. What is it that when we change our physical features, okay, when we, for example, when you are not happy at all, okay, and when you make a change in your body postures, when you say these things, when you say these things, and you'll be so that you are more confident. This body behavior communicate to your brain that you are confident. And there are certain postures are power postures. And I would like to record my experience here. I think Safali ma'am, the director, may aware about it. Once I had got a wonderful opportunity in my university. It is a national institute where I was asked to deliver welcome address. Very simple thing, welcome address. The gathering are more than 500 members. So I was done a rehearsal more than 3, 5, 4 times even because the minister was there in the forum. So that's why I have done many rehearsals. So once on the day of came and I was there in front of that podium. I'm having that script also in front of me, sweating. And I couldn't speak a single word. I couldn't speak a single word for 1 minute, and everyone is looking at me. I'm the person to propose welcome address, and I stuck in between, and I struggled a lot, and everyone say that, and they replaced me. And after 2 minutes, okay, it's okay. He's having the problem. We call another person because they are high-profile members in that forum. This happened for me 5 years back, and here I will say that. One of the practices that Amit Kude is a professor sees that self-care I am not given that. I anticipated others' expectation. I try to fulfill others' needs. I looking for perfection, but I am not focusing on that my body symptoms, the biological component. So one of the thing is, for example, so these are posture you can do that when you make a positive when you going to presentation somewhere. These are positive postures. This is one. And another one is this, just 2 minutes, and I will try to play the video, and you do these kind of practices. And you feel more confident, not more than you fake it. You fake it, and then your behavior will communicate to your brain, okay, this person is more confident, and he is not fear about anything at all. And after that, I'm practicing it. I found that I can say this lockdown period, I got an opportunity to present in different forums, in different places. And I'd like to say that I have done my education in Tamil medium, the local vernacular language only. And when these practices I have done in a day, I'm saying that my experience. And this kind of practice, and there are a few coaches are there. And here, so these are the coaches when you do for just 2 minutes, and it has a huge impact in our life. And she's a person who had met an accident, and she's a professor of positive psychology, and she come up with that strategy, and then worthwhile we have to do that. And here in this self-compassion practice also, what they are saying here, we have to frequently use that physical gestures. Okay. Sometimes you can see that sympathetic and parasympathetic is a biological component. When we see a fear-inducing stimuli, for example, there is a snake in front of us, we will get more anxious. Our sympathetic system will be activated, and sweating will be there, adrenaline will be secreted. And parasympathetic is something you come to know, no fear is there, and then you will feel more cool. And parasympathetic practice and meditation in yoga. That's why they will say that when you are more anxious, and I can say my mother, she will hold like this. She will do like this. Okay. And she will say that inhale, exhale, 3 times, 3 to 4 times. Yeah, when we do these kind of practices and we care about ourselves. And one more thing is we can do that. Self-hug. How many of you are doing that? Self-hug. I think there is a hormone called oxytocin will be secreted when we are, for example, when you hug your children, the Munnabai MBPS, and you can see Sanjay Dutt will hold anybody, everybody, and he will soothe that, comfort the person. And the same thing you can do, hug yourself and say, yes, I'm caring about you. You do the same kind of approaches, you can do that. And this will communicate, and oxytocin will be secreted, and we feel more positive. And I can say that now the climate in your place, I think you are every day you are practicing it, and that's good for us. And the next one is compassionate affirmation. Affirmation is something when we do something, how many times you appreciate yourself. I think I can find these kind of qualities are coming down in every day, recent days. And when we found some of the wrongdoing by somebody, we say that we criticize them, we have done is wrong. We judging them, we will criticize the people. Even the same thing, if I do something wrong, we will criticize ourselves. Have you ever, if you do something good, have you ever appreciated yourself? And if I ask you, many of us, we are not focusing on that. Here, self-compassionate is, they are insisting that we have to focus on that positive affirmation, compassionate affirmation about self and others. When we do with others, then only we can do with ourselves. Then altruism will develop. And most of the self-compassionate people are more altruistic in nature. And you can just hold this and wait. Say something, yes, I'm here, don't worry. This is the way thing you can practice it. Affirmation, yes, something you have done, very good, you have done something. You learned something. Yes, you are good at it. So these are the practice we can do that. And when we do meditation, we are focusing on our concentration. We are not giving space to our mind to wander here and there. And some of the words we can, these are just a moment of suffering. Suffering is a part of life. We can come out from that. See, we have to ask ourselves how I can be kind to myself at this moment. And when we ask these things, we will find answer. When we ask more questions, we will find answers. And we feel that certain affirmations, you feel more comfortable, you take that word and practice it regularly. When you look at that, most of the philosophers, they use the word Om Shanti. Oh, so the word, the Lord, what are the things that gives peace to them? They use the word. Use the word affirmation. We can say that long living. When they meet a person, good morning. These affirmations we have to do ourselves. And when we practice to ourselves, we can do with others also. And yes, there is a thing you are all doing every day morning. And when I found that how many studies were done on that impact of meditation, guided meditation will help or improve that well-being of an individual. I found even this last academic year alone, I'm saying that June to June, and as per my limited exposure and knowledge, I found that internet source, I found n number of studies are there. N number of studies they found that, and it is a natural way to calm down our health. There are many meditations, self-compassionate practices are available, and that I think your guru will, I think the master will tell you that what are the practices, what are the meditation you can practice it for your self-compassion. How you can do that? The guided imagery, guided. You look at the word guided. They will say that close your eyes, follow your inner breathing, and watch your thoughts. If it is a negative thought, you think about the positive one. And these guided meditation will give us, and they term, they given that Raj Yoga, Raja Yoga. In Tamil, we can say that Raj Yoga. I think these practices, when we do that, we are self-compassionate. These are the things comes under self-compassionate practices. And it has a lot of benefit out of it, especially the stressed people are having more prone to that cardiovascular problems like heart attack. And the people who are practicing, they are very lowered, and blood pressure will be comes down. And many kind of problems, they are not prone to that. Even stroke and epilepsy are prone. Many people are affected nowadays because of exposure to overwork and stress. But when they practice these things, and it will make them to come back to the normal. Okay, you just affected, come back, you come to the normal. It's a natural process to heal your wound. And this is a practice, I can say that. How many of you, I think some of you may experienced, or some of you may witnessed someone writing love letter to that partner in their age. Have you ever written love letter to you? Have you ever done? I can say most of us not know. And some people, they encourage friends and the family members, they write a letter, appreciation letter. And now I request you, you can take 5 minutes of time, you can write a love letter to yourself. Just a letter. This is one activity I'm going to give. Please write a love letter now to yourself, and those are 1 or 2 volunteers. You can come forward and then read it. I'm going to give 5 minutes of time. Now we are 1:04. Okay, at 1:10 we will continue. Up to that, I will play some music for you all. Okay, you can write a letter, and some volunteer, 1 or 2 volunteer, please come forward and share your love letter. What are the things you have written to yourself? I'm waiting to listen from you all. I will play the music for you. And it is in regional language. I hope you will enjoy that music. Yeah, 5 more minutes. Please take a paper, write a love letter to yourself. You have to love yourself, and you have to write. And in a way, you have to impress yourself. And I found that these are the good qualities in you. I love for that. And you are very cute in those components. Please do that. Yes, sir. I think time is up. I kindly request any one of the volunteer, please, can you please read your love letter? We are very curious to, when someone is in a love and relationship, when they are writing letter to their opposite person, we are curious to know. But now we are very curious to know that how you are love about yourself, how much you are loving about yourself, what are the things you observed about yourself. I request one or two volunteers, please unmute yourself and you can please read your letter. I'm very, very eagerly waiting to listen from you all. Dr. Aravind Kumar, would you like to?
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. Sir, you can you able to read or?
Yes, please.
I am Aravind.
Yes, Dr. Aravind, sir, you can go ahead.
Dear Aravind, I love you very much. You are so caring of me. You are so punctual. You are dedicated to your work. Can you spend some time with me? I also want to meet you. We will go outside and spend some time alone. Almost 40 years gone, and I will not be written a single love letter to you.
Amazing, amazing. I think it is a short and sweet one. Thank you, Doctor. And a few more volunteers are so interested. Yes, Dr. Nega.
I love you, Neha. You are so kind, and when you smiles, the whole room brightens up. You have great compassion for others. I want to be with you forever. Your heart is filled with love. You care for everybody. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I love you, Neha.
Oh, it's an amazing again. Different perspective, and you've given some of the specific component. Thank you, Dr. Nega. And any others? I would like to hear from few more letters.
सरोज, मैं तुमसे बहुत प्यार करती हूँ। मैं स्वयं से बहुत प्रेम करती हूँ। क्योंकि मैं स्वयं से ही नहीं, मैं कई रिश्तों में समाई हूँ। मैं एक माँ हूँ, मैं एक बेटी हूँ, मैं एक पत्नी हूँ। हर कर्तव्य को मैं बड़ी शान से निभाती हूँ। मैं मातृ हूँ, मैं अन्नपूर्णा हूँ, मैं संपूर्णा हूँ। ये जीवन मुझसे ही है, ये घर की खुशियां भी मुझसे ही है, मेरे बच्चों की हंसी भी मुझसे ही है, मेरे परिवार की सारी खुशी भी मुझसे ही है। हर रिश्ते की जान हूँ मैं स्वयं से बहुत प्रेम करती हूँ, मैं स्वयं पर बहुत नाज करती हूँ। मैं सरोज हूँ।
Wow, wow. I think I'm beginning to Hindi learning, but and I can understand that in essence of your love letter. Thank you so much, ma'am. And any others? Yes. Anyone of you please interested, please let me know. Or else I can show some of the videos. So any faculties and any professors would you like to share your love letter, please? You are welcome. I take in that way. I think no one is interested. So I will resume my presentation. Is there another 5 minutes I will take of your time, and then we'll go for a Q&A, question and answer sessions. I try to give my best answer for your questions. And here is I have to share my screen with you. Yes, where I can find, yes, here. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So can you able to see my screen now? Anyone, please let me know. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
able to...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I will mute my audio, then only can able to get clarity in that.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุดไปประกันชีวิต
Yes. That video is for compassion towards others. My session is about compassion to ourselves. The same thing we have to do ourselves. And thank you so much for being here and listening to my words and my learnings. And I experienced myself, I can say it is like experiential sharing from my side. And if you have any questions and feedback regarding my sessions, I kindly request you can come forward for another 10 minutes. I'm going to clarify your doubts. Sir, Piyush sir, over to you. Piyush sir, are you there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a very nice presentation, sir. It was really excellent and wonderful experience for all the participants. If any of you have any questions regarding the session, or if you want to share any of your experiences from the session or any of your life experience, you can please share it. Our participants, कोई भी अपने लाइफ का कोई एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहते हैं या इस सेशन से रिलेटेड कोई एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहते हैं या कोई क्वेश्चन आप पूछना चाहते हैं तो यू आर वेलकम. एनीबॉडी.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how self-esteem and self-compassion are related with each other?
Yeah, in my presentation itself, I told that when you talk about many people, they are giving importance to self-esteem. That is, getting appreciations and affirmation from others, recognition from others. That is called self-esteem. When we achieve something, we feel more self-esteem. For example, when you are promoted to next level, or when we achieve in a community or in a family level, you are better than other members. That is self-esteem. But self-compassion is something. But I can say that even for achieving something also, we love ourselves. But in self-esteem, it expects that it compare with others. But in self-compassion, it never compare with others. It compare ourselves with others. Okay, what we have really done and whether we have improved, and yes, we have done better. And self-esteem create competition. And there are sometimes we may take about that negative word. That means selfishness. We can show that to achieve, to reach that destination. But in self-compassion, even if we will achieve it, but we take some time and we care about ourselves as well as others.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It was a very nice session, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks
So there's
a lot.
a question in the chat box also. Can you please tell about self-guilt?
Just a minute, sir. I will look into it, sir.
Self-guilt.
Yes, sir. So guilty feeling, I think we human beings are, most of the time we commit error. By mistake, we will do the error. And something, it will ruminate our thought. Guilty feeling we will develop. And this guilty feeling is I can say, poison for our self-compassion. This guilty feeling, something you have done wrong, or morally not accepted by the society, our family, our friends, or in a relationship. And you may hide it, or we may have the thought that if this information known to them, what will happen? And this guilty feeling ruminate again and again in our thought process, and that spoil our health and our mind, everything, and the emotions, everything that will spoil. And that's why we have to be accepted. Yes, I have done a mistake. Yes, you forgive yourself. The mistake, for example, our kids or someone very near and dear has done something wrong, we will forgive their mistakes. And we can find out if the strong relationships are there and they are more self-compassionate, forgiving others. And if we don't do that self-forgiving, and we will not have the relationship. And if we try to find a fault most of the time. Yes, I hope I given the answer for that question. Yes, any other inputs or positive feedback, any affirmations are welcome. And I'm going to share, as I said now, that how I changed myself from that normal to something better than others. Here I'm going to share the link with you. You can just watch that, how your body language shape your self-confidence. That amazing video. It is on 21 minutes, and she suffered a lot in her life. And she given that how to come from those things. Please look into that.
Thank you, sir. That was a very nice session, and the queries of our participants were also, I think, they are justified.
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, being labeled as the point you highlighted in your initial part of the session, that being labeled as the most depressing countries, it is really a cause of concern for us.
Yes.
We must definitely make a paradigm shift in our thought process and how we feel about others and how we care about others and how we feel about ourselves also.
Yes.
And how to keep a positive outlook, it also defines our attitude, because it is something that the others perceive and how we define our social behavior. So being compassionate, it keeps our mind at calm, and it is better to compare self with self. So, sir, I thank you from the core of my heart for giving us such a beautiful topic to think upon. And so on behalf of the participants, the UGC, HRDC, and Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, I thank you for giving us your time. And sir, in future also, I hope that we will be getting support from you in this topic, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. I take a minute to record my heartfelt thanks to that Safali Nagpal ma'am and you, sir, and other administrators, Vice Chancellor, Register, and other coordinating faculties, and those are working in background, and all the participants for encouraging and motivating me and listening to my words. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And we practice, be self-compassionate. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. There is an announcement for the participants, or rather information for the participants.